About the brand we have here. Jamie Reid, as John's just inferred, brought that into play by saying that this could be very good for our brand. So my talk's about that. I'm going to try and explain, it really shouldn't be necessary to explain it, but apparently it is, why burying nuclear waste is bad for Lake District business. Well, as we know, Jamie said it'd actually be good for the brand to have nuclear waste buried underneath it. A rather more eminent politician, Abraham Lincoln, once said that it's better for a man to be thought of as foolish than for him to open his mouth and move all down. So what's our brand all about? Well, according to the Lake District National Park, it's this. Visitors come to enjoy the spectacular landscape and rich cultural heritage in a peaceful setting. I think we can all agree with that. Cumbria Tourism, a bold and clear vision they have, is to be Europe's #1 rural tourist destination. I found some research from Mintel, which is a very respected research organisation. They looked at what they call UK destination brands. Where does the Lake District come, do we think? It's #1. That's ahead of Cornwall, it's ahead of Devon, it's ahead of that London. And they found, as we will know, Lake District is a near faultless image. What's it all about? Brand image. And I stand here as a guy who makes his living out of marketing. Well, it's not just some vague and fanciful marketing concept. It actually supports a £2.2 billion industry, which is the Cumbrian tourism industry, and 57,000 direct jobs. On top of that, I'm lucky enough to share in the tourism business with my wife Judy, and I know from the work she does in running that it's not just the direct jobs. She works with people like Keswick Garden Machinery, Lakeland Decor, Floor Choice, Howden's, Shortridge Laundry. And a huge raft of plumbers, builders, electricians, accountants, even bank staff. So there's probably hardly anybody in this room who doesn't work in or with tourism in one shape or form. So that brand image is really important to all of us. There's also the outdoor shop, which wanted to open up in Keswick recently. It's all part of it, it's all part of it. Okay, so whilst the paramount concerns that we're talking about today are about the environment and safety, jobs and businesses are a real concern. Any move which would dissuade people from coming here will be economically disastrous, and on a scale much, much greater than the 50 or 200 new jobs for Cumbrians which the dump would eventually provide. Okay, so to be specific, what would the effect be to the image of the lakes of burying nuclear waste here? Well, there was a survey carried out at 500 tourists to Keswick.
Yeah, by Friends of the Earth, sorry.
Sorry, I should have said by Friends of the Earth, credit Friends of the Earth, they carried out that survey. And 89% of the tourists they interviewed thought the dump would have a negative impact on perceptions of the Lake District. So that's 9 out of 10 visitors and their wallets and purses feeling more negatively about the place. You know? So what would that mean? Well, I'm sorry if I'm stating the obvious here, but Jamie Reid, him again, he's pronounced the dump would be vital to our economic future. He really has. Cumbria Tourism and MRWS would have you believe that it requires a long-term study by yet more marketing consultants, there's not enough of us around, to analyse what it actually might mean. Well, here's one. I'll stick my neck out and I'll say that negative perceptions are going to reduce the likelihood of people wanting to buy into the brand. It will damage our businesses, not just the holiday businesses, but the carpet fitters, the plumbers, the taxi drivers, the gardeners I mentioned earlier. And they should know this already. MRWS hired 2 London-based marketing consultants, and they've told them this. It's actually in their report. The risk from negative perceptions of nuclear waste and contamination are unspoiled countryside, that's at risk. At risk, food and drink. At risk, our green, fresh and clean environment. At risk, safety and security. At risk, peacefulness and tranquility. At risk, quality of life. It's in the MRWS report. They hired marketing consultants from London to come and tell them that. It's probably come as big news to you lot. You probably hadn't realised that might be the case, but they paid good money to people like myself in London to do research and tell them this. Can't believe it. So, the potential consequences, as they've been told, is reduced tourist numbers and spend, decreased food and drink sales, decreased house prices. Unbelievable. So, what's Cumbria Tourism's position, I hear you ask? Well, over a number of years now, they've insisted on their drive to become Europe's #1 rural destination, insisted that we work hard and drive and push forward a green and clean proposition. Green and clean, that's what we're supposed to be. High quality accommodation in a high quality environment. That's what that's all been about. We've invested a lot in that, not just personally, people like ourselves, with holiday businesses, but Cumbria Tourism themselves. There's been massive expenditure. And now, they are pulling the rug from under our feet. They're supporting MRWS. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, I've heard it said that the nuclear industry and tourism coexist in Cumbria. But that's really meaningless, to be honest, because let's be clear, the tourism brand is the Lake District. It might be politically correct to talk about tourism in terms of the Cumbrian brand, but I'll show you the evidence, straight from Cumbria Tourism. In 2001, they launched some new branding. You might remember it. Cumbria, the Lake District. So, but we're now here that the government has earmarked an advertising budget for us to help protect our brand. If they go ahead with this plan, it's £500,000. I'll tell you what, if that was on the table there, I'd say that's a lot of money. Thanks very much. We could do quite a bit with that. As an advertising budget, well, how does that stack up? It's actually less than Gibraltar spent in the UK. And at the last count, they only had one rock. It's also less than Mauritius. I don't know how many rocks they've got there, but it's less than the Mauritius tourist board spend advertising in the UK. Oh, let's have a laugh. Where else is it less than? Oh, there's a spa in Covent Garden called Sanctuary. They spend more than that. What else have we got? Sadler's Wells Ballet spend more than that. The list is endless. So, you know, that's not going to do us a huge amount of good. So, when Jamie Reid says that the money would be better spent on healthcare, this is one thing I actually agree with him on. Of course, if you do bury that high-level nuclear waste underneath it, we might need a bigger healthcare budget anyway. But that's scaremongering, I'm not supposed to do that. So, moving on. So what I've tried to explain is the Lake District is the magnet, or as I think we often feel here in Keswick, it's the goose that lays the golden eggs for Allerdale. It's the goose that shouldn't be cooked. So both the environment and the economy, the Lake District National Park must be protected from this half-baked plan. We don't want to go down that route, thanks very much.